Welcome to Slash Bash, where today I am bringing you an Entitled People Reddit video. Karen demands we let her through a fatal crime scene. Okay, so I'll start by saying this story is from about 5 years ago. My therapist mentioned it in passing as it was something I had spoken with her about years ago regarding my PTSD. I figured it's finally time to post this gem of a woman's story. It's around 11 p.m. on a Saturday night, and I'm sitting at home just getting ready to go to bed. I'm an on-call tow truck operator and figure I'll be going out early in the morning. Right as my head hit the pillow, my Nextel-style two-way radio chirped and a dispatcher goes, "Hey OP, are you still awake?" "Yeah, I'm up." "Good, we've got a one-car accident in the next town over. The police department wants it expedited, so please hurry, but be safe." 10-4, I'm out the door. After a roughly 20-minute drive, I'm headed out of this small town looking for the accident, and I see it. The coroner and forensics vans are parked in the road amongst a dozen squad cars. A typical one-car accident has one officer sitting with it for paperwork reasons with the tow operator. Obviously, I know things just got a lot darker than I had originally been told. Sparing the gory details, what had happened was 6 kids between 17 and 20 had been in an SUV while driving drunk, and only the driver had a seatbelt on. The vehicle swerved off the road and the driver went to correct. However, 1, he overcorrected, and 2, the road on that side had about an 8-inch lip, which made it extremely rough of a transition to pull a vehicle back on the road. As the SUV came back on the road, the driver fishtailed, trying to correct back in the other direction and again overcorrected. This sent the vehicle rolling down the road in and out of the 4-foot drainage ditch next to the road. All 5 passengers were ejected and died on the scene. One of the passengers was trapped under the SUV that came to a rest in the drainage ditch on its roof. The other passengers were strewn across the roadway with sheets over them. I set up my Peterbilt rollback at a 70-degree angle across this 2-lane road and start to work with forensics and the coroner to remove the vehicle from the ditch as well as preserve as much evidence as possible. No sooner do I get the winch tight on my truck when I hear the frantic beeping of a car horn. I turn around and directly behind me is a woman who looks to be in her early 40s who is now just holding the horn down, letting it blare non-stop as she's yelling out of her window. I ignore her and turn around to go back to this delicate job I'm in the middle of, wondering how Karen had gotten past the police roadblock that was roughly a third of a mile up the road at the nearest intersection to keep traffic out of the area. As I'm slowly maneuvering this 8,000-pound vehicle from the roof onto its side, the honking stops. Maybe 8 seconds later, I feel a hand grab my shoulder and attempt to spin me around. I'm 6'3", 280 pounds, so there is absolutely no way this 40-something 5'4"-ish, 160-pound woman is achieving this goal. I let out a sigh as I stopped winching on the vehicle and looked at the sky with my eyes asking every god I can think of for the strength to not headbutt this witch. I turn around and attempt to say, "Ma'am, the road is closed due to a fatal accident." Karen cut me off. "I don't care what you have to say, just get out of my way, I'm late." Now I'm extremely annoyed and I talk over Karen's continued complaints. "Listen, witch, 5 people just flipping died here and there is absolutely no way anyone is driving down this road for hours. I suggest turning around and driving back through the police roadblock you somehow got around now." Karen, opening with that line that we've all heard 1,000 times, "Excuse me, I live right there," as she points back behind her vehicle, "and I have to use this road to get to where I'm going. You will move your truck now, or I'm calling the police." By this time, the forensics crew has heard all the yelling over the loudness of my truck, idled up, and the PTO engaged and walked over. Forensic crews do not dress like police, especially in the middle of the night on the weekends. They're dressed in plain clothes, but they're carrying a badge on them, and they'll put on a hazmat suit if needed. None were needed on this scene, just gloves and such. "Which one of you is the manager? This man won't move his goddamn truck and let me through. I'm calling the police." She is actually holding the phone to the side of her head and talking to what we would later find out was 911. Ma'am, I am the police, and I don't want to hear any more goddamn excuses. Move the flipping truck now. Clapping between each word. You dumb witch! Do your 2 remaining brain cells constantly compete for 3rd place? The forensics officer stifled a laugh and said, "Ma'am, if you don't get in your car and leave this crime scene now, you will be arrested." Just as the forensic officer finished saying this, a squad car came screaming down the road from the same direction Karen came from and stopped behind her vehicle. The officer hopped out of his car, and the very first words he said were Karen's Miranda rights. Karen screamed, kicked, swore that everyone else should be arrested, and even tried to spit on me, which caused her to catch a tampering with evidence charge as we were on an active crime scene. By the time it was all done, her other charges were obstruction, assault on an officer, misuse of 911, and interfering with an investigation. She took a deal that netted her 18 weekends in the county jail. However, I did tow her car as well. The impound cost roughly $600 since it was police-initiated, after hours, and included storage. The charges were $150 impound, $50 after hours, $52 a day storage, and $5 a mile each direction from our office. Our office was roughly 15 to 17 miles from there. Monday morning, I met Karen's husband as he inspected the vehicle, signed off that we didn't damage it, and then paid me. Karen's husband couldn't have been more embarrassed. He apologized to me over and over. So I just got invited to a bachelorette party, and I'm expected to make a donation even if I don't attend. I got this text message earlier today. "Hi, my name is Allie, Camilla's wedding coordinator. I would like to make you aware of the bachelorette party details. The date is this in Las Vegas. Will you be in attendance? Please keep in mind if you do not attend, a donation towards Camilla's expense would still be required. Please respond thumbs up or thumbs down at your earliest convenience. Thank you in advance." A few things to note. I have no idea who Allie is. I have no idea who Camilla is. I'm a guy. I can't afford to make a trip to Vegas. So, obviously, I won't be attending the bachelorette party, though I wouldn't mind hanging around with a bunch of hopefully attractive women acting wild. That said, I'm required to still donate towards Camilla's expense, even if I don't attend? Huh? Even if I knew her, to say I'd be required to donate is a lot of things, including presumptuous, rude, unprofessional, tacky, etc. All of which I responded back with to this wedding coordinator. Allie then had the gall to tell me that I have too much time on my hands, despite the fact that it took me a few hours to respond. If anyone knows who this Camilla girl is, 1, don't respond here since I didn't change her name. I don't know who she is, and there isn't enough information to identify who she really is, so let's keep it that way. 2, let her know that she has an unprofessional and entitled person for a wedding coordinator. She's going to alienate some of Camilla's friends from her, and she needs to nip that behavior in the bud. For those saying that I didn't need to respond like a jerk, to put it kindly, you're right. I didn't need to. Just like she didn't need to tell a potential invitee that they are required to make a donation. Such entitlement irks me. If the message had been a respectful invite, then I would have simply responded that she had the wrong number. This is John from /Bash. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and want to be the first to know when the next one drops, then subscribe. I would love for you to drop a like, share it with your friends, and I'll see you in the next one.